This is about the protection of students. I want you to watch your government officials act or not act. So when you look at this, some people call it lying. They're liars. They're gaslighting you. Government officials just not knowing that we're gonna check, we're gonna verify, we're gonna trust it, but we're gonna verify it. And I've been recording these meetings. There's 500 some on YouTube. You can go back and watch them all. But here you go. I'll give you the short synopsis. So back in 2018, well, go back a little further. Back in 2017, Timothy J. Piazza passes at Penn State. His parents, Jim and Evelyn, move heaven and earth to create a new law to protect all the students. Fantastic law. October 2018, House, Senate, Governor, all signed this law. Fantastic. Safe harbor, teaching students how they can protect each other that are heinously being hazed. That's October of 2018. Then in November of 2018, a month later, actually only a couple of weeks later, we have a policy meeting. It's our first opportunity to fix this. We didn't do it. They canceled the policy meeting. We held a workshop meeting outside with people in the audience because they locked us out. They locked us out. This was during the strip searching problems. This was during a bunch of things that were happening within the district because our government officials weren't listening to the public, weren't following the law. It was bad. Then in January, we actually had the policy meeting. Here he comes. Here's Larry Stern. All right, listen up. Here we go. His own words.
I don't have the ability or the time to read the statutes that are belonging to all of these policies, so I trust that the supplier of this information is doing their due diligence and their homework because we're contracted with them to do so.
I agree, and the idea for us is management, let's call it, is to trust and verify.
And Larry doesn't do that. He didn't do that. It's 2019, a month after the new law comes in. We have a responsibility to do that, and he didn't do it. Then, a little while later, we have a hazing incident. Parents are upset. The board fails to call, we called a special meeting. Larry fails to call the special meeting. I take on the court over it. I don't think he has a right to do that. He has to let the people speak. He's a public servant. We asked for a special meeting on student safety. Board members, actually 4 board members, said yes, let's get it done. You only need 3 for the law. 4 said yes. 5 of them didn't step up to protect the students. Larry, Wayne, Rita, Nathan, Steve didn't step up. I took them to court over it. We had a deposition, all online.
Okay, could you please restate your question?
Sure. How does the district educate the coaching staff, administrators, and student athletes and faculty on the new anti-hazing law passed in Pennsylvania back in 2018?
And we talked. You should hear his answer. It's bad. But
I do not recall how they educate the complete district on the anti-hazing law of 2018.
Can you share an example of any training that took place or education that took place related to the anti-hazing laws passed in Pennsylvania back in 2018?
Are you asking for a specific date of any
Nope,
training?
I'm asking for any example of a training process or anything that occurred that relates to educating the members of the district government on the anti-hazing law.
I do not know.
you should watch the rest of this excerpts on these depositions. We have his answers, Nathan's, Rita's, Steve's, and Wayne. Right? Let's move forward. 2021, October, just a couple weeks ago. This is Larry in that meeting yelling about he doesn't want to hear it about the Auditor General.
Oh, stop it with your Auditor General bullshit.
So he's all upset that I'm bringing up the Auditor General. He's losing it. Go a little further along, and there he goes.
I make a motion to adjourn.
He gavels it up. He can't take a difference of opinion. He cannot do a job as a government official. He doesn't get it. Doesn't have the skills, like he said in the thing. I don't know what he's still doing in this office. Let's move on to the next one. Here he comes. At the end of that meeting, still goes back.
You know what, Dave? I really don't care what you have to say.
I know you don't care what I have to say, but the reality is I get to say it. That's America, Larry.
Well, you know what? You might as well go out and stand on the corner of 9th and Mahoney and say it, because that's the only people that are going to listen to you driving by, and that's no one.
What arrogance, you know? So I did, by the way. I went out to 9th Street. And you know what? People did listen. And they told me what was going on, and they don't like what's happening within our district. So a little while later, middle of October this month, I'm a duly elected school director, David F. Bradley Sr. In a committee meeting, I was silenced. You can hear that. No big deal. But let's go back now. At the end of October this month, we're trying to pass this law. I have my public statement. I have a right to a public statement. And they're saying that we never reviewed this law. It's my fault for somehow. You know, we had that November meeting that they canceled. Then they had this January meeting that they're going to bring up, and they're going to say that it wasn't addressed. And here it is, right in the minutes, still available, right online. I mean, it's as if they didn't think they were going to check what they're saying. I mean, they just lie. It's weird. And it's about student safety. How can your government official, how can your neighbor that you elected to serve the public be so arrogant and ignore the safety of students? Doesn't make any sense. I'll play this for a second.
For the post regarding the 2018 Timothy J. Piazza law, including the need for a training effort. 2021, still no implementation of the law. Late in 2021, a particularly stubborn director opposing the oath of office resigned. We added Barb, and within a month, we were able to get it on the agenda and get it so that we can pass it. I think we should have a moment of silence for Timothy J. Piazza, who gave his life so that this community does not have to suffer the way other kids do with the Antihazing law. Thank you.
So you got to admit, does that look prearranged? They knew what I was going to say, and they knew I was bringing it up. We pre-announced it. This looks prearranged to me. You tell me what these government officials are doing. And why aren't they just saying, we made a mistake, we need to fix this law, and we're going to enact it right now? You know, let's move this up on the agenda. That's the power of this president. If he wanted to, he didn't.
Just for reference, Mr. Bradley, so October 2018 was the law date?
Yes, sir. October 2018 enacted, signed, and put into law at the end of 2018, October.
January 9th, 2019, you attended a meeting, policy meeting. Policy 247 was reviewed.
And not enacted.
At that meeting, but at no point did you either
We did.
bring up any of this.
We did. We talked about the law. We have a responsibility. We have the PSBA talking about this law. You got the state talking about this law.
Now, what's weird is has the minutes in his hand in the board meeting. He has this piece of paper that he's referring to. How could he make this mistake? Is it just a lie? Is it gaslighting?
So I'm just
As
pointing
of-
out facts. That it was
I understand, sir, but as of last month, you sat in a meeting and thought that this law didn't apply to us.
Mr. Bradley.
You yourself, a direct
Mr. Bradley, I know it's
licensed superintendent, excuse me, I'm talking.
You're not talking, you're screaming.
Okay, well, I'll talk very gently. We have a hired superintendent, we have a hired solicitor,
And the superintendent is... By the way, this is our superintendent, president of the board, business manager, solicitor. Actually authorized by the state. And during that period, even though we have a minority board member, any individual member of this board should be able to make sure, that we enact and follow all these state laws. So there you have it. It's a shame. It's almost like you think that they wouldn't realize we have all the documents. If you go to our YouTube page, there's 500 plus videos of all these actions by this government agency failing to meet their responsibility, their oath of office. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you. I think Larry Stern should resign, and I think that the administration should be held accountable.